it's Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, for your comments, and for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support this channel. Well, Serena Williams had an unfortunate and embarrassing incident in Paris. She's over there at the Olympics. She was a part of the opening ceremony, and Serena has home in Paris, as I understand it. And she has this restaurant that she goes to that she's familiar with. But she went last week with her children, and they turned her away. Now, I'm not sure if this was a wake-up call. The people say they didn't recognize her. They didn't know who she was. Now, we have to consider Serena has lost a lot of weight. They say Serena has bleached her skin, and now she's wearing a blonde wig. So it's possible that they didn't recognize her. And then they say she was pushing a stroller. Her baby is just a year old, so she's probably not walking well enough to be walking on her own. So that might have been off-putting, but let's face it, if she had been a white woman, chances are she wouldn't have had any trouble getting in that restaurant. This comes from the Huffington Post. Serena Williams slams Paris restaurant for allegedly denying her access during Olympics. Serena Williams is expressing frustration after she and her children were allegedly turned away from dining at a restaurant in Paris during the 2024 Olympics. The retired tennis legend, 42, served as a torchbearer for the Paris Olympics, which kicked off last month in the French capital. She was also spotted cheering on Team USA's gymnastics team during their final on July 30th, alongside other A-listers like Natalie Portman and Nicole Kidman. While trying to grab a bite to eat at the Peninsula Paris, a historic luxury hotel previously known as Hotel Majestic, Williams claimed on X, formerly Twitter, that she was denied access to one of its restaurants. Yikes! At Peninsula Paris, I've been denied access to rooftop to eat in an empty restaurant of nicer places, but never with my kids, she wrote on Monday, alongside frowning emojis. Always a first. Yeah, it is. The mom of two, who shares young daughters Adira and Olympia with husband Alexis Ohanian, did not reveal whether Ohanian was with them at the time of the incident. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't, because he is white and they would not have denied access to him, even with a black woman. HuffPost has reached out to Williams' rep and Peninsula Paris for comment. So Serena Williams was denied access to this restaurant, and rather than go and bury her head in the sand, she decided that she was going to take to social media, which is what she should have done, to expose the racist behavior. So for all the money that she has, you can't buy fairness. And this also lets us know that racism is really worldwide. This is in Europe, in Paris, France, which is supposed to be a liberal country. But this is the treatment that she gets. And she is a tennis superstar. Social media users on X rallied behind the 23-time Grand Slam champion after she and her children were rejected. Well, that's all you need to put bad mouth on any kind of business, any person, any establishment. Get social media on their case. They can ruin anybody's reputation or business. Paris restaurant responds to Serena Williams after she and her kids were denied table. Indeed, fully booked. So they're saying they were fully booked. I thought she said the restaurant was empty. I went back and read the statement again. It appears that she was saying that, facetiously saying that she had been turned away from nicer restaurants that were empty. But let's see what this restaurant is saying. Now, this article is from the New York Post. It says the tennis icon claimed that she wasn't permitted to eat in the rooftop of Paris's The Peninsula, despite saying the place was empty. Yeah, she did say the place was empty. The restaurant quickly responded to the 23-time Grand Slam winner as the staffers doubled down on why they denied Williams and her children a table. So they just gonna lie. They gonna call her a liar. She said the restaurant was empty. You can actually look into a restaurant and see if it's empty or not. When you walk in a restaurant and there is a greeter at the podium, you can actually look into the restaurant to see if the restaurant is full. You're not blind and you're not crazy. So they are trying to play her. They're playing in her face. She could tell if there was anybody in that restaurant or not. So they're going to have to come up with something better than that. In response to Ms. Williams' tweet, for whom we have the utmost admiration and respect, as we do for all our esteemed guests, we reiterate our deepest apologies that we were not able to offer her a table at our rooftop bar when she arrived with her family and without a reservation. So that's it. She didn't have a reservation, even though they had room for her. They were going to show her that you don't have that kind of privilege to just walk up in here without a reservation. They knew who she was. They pretended that in another post, they pretended they didn't know who she was. They knew who she was. But that was their way of saying, okay, this is your wake-up call, N-word. The hotel said in a statement to the Post, "We do always try to make space for walk-in guests, but sometimes this is not possible." So here's the apology. Dear Mrs. Williams, please accept our deepest apologies for the disappointment you encountered tonight. Unfortunately, our rooftop bar was indeed fully booked, and the only unoccupied tables you saw belonged to our gourmet restaurant, which I won't try to pronounce, which was fully reserved. So see, she knew what she was looking at. They're probably lying, but they're not going to say, yeah, we discriminated against you. They weren't going to say that, but she knew what she was looking at. As an alternate, Miss Williams was offered an outside table downstairs at the hotel's whatever kind of restaurant, the statement concluded, adding that they have reached out to Miss Williams directly. The hotel statement came after it issued a public response to the former athlete on X Monday night with a similar statement. Okay, so she put them on blast. So now they got to come up with something. We have always been honored to welcome you and will always be to welcome you again. The Peninsula of Paris, they wrote in a follow-up post. So they know who she is. She's been a regular patron to that restaurant and hotel. So it really And the reason they keep doing follow-up apologies is because they're lying. If they had told the truth in the first place and issued a sincere apology, they wouldn't have to keep coming back apologizing again and again. But it's always a wake-up call for black people. It's always the wake-up call. You can never let your guard down when you're dealing with those people. Well, the more things change, the more they remain the same. I regret that for Serena Williams, but it's just a reminder that we are still in the land of our captivity, even in France, because they were enslavers too. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening.